Hello, I'm back. We are starting up Space Engineers. Let's go back to live. Grab the right window and move to the correct server. There we go. All right. All right. Hey, Cargo.
Hey, Wall, I need to know, have you beaten Rogue Trader yet?
No.
Damn it.
Have you?
Yes.
Oh, I'm in chapter 4.
I'm the only person I know who has Rogue Trader who's beaten it yet, and I can't talk about it with anyone.
You can talk about chapter 4.
Well, okay, what have you done in chapter 4?
Not much. I fought the Necrons a couple times.
Okay.
They're miserable to fight. But that's not really a surprise.
Problem because I'm way over leveled for the end.
I mean, I kind of am too, but...
I ended up fighting a final boss, only to realize he wasn't the final boss.
Oh, Lord.
So that was fun.
That sounds exciting.
Rogue Trader is a fucking mess. As a
Are
game,
you talking about bugs?
It's so fucking buggy, dude. It's so buggy.
Did you get the Space Marine companion?
Yes.
Because I did, and whenever I was like escaping in chapter 3, he loaded in as if I didn't have him, so there were two of him. Right? Yeah, there were two of them.
I had the same fucking thing!
I went into that room and I was like, why are there two of you?
So, during the footfall stuff in chapter 3, I think? I think it's chapter 3. When you go back to Footfall and Corda is just fucking murdering everyone.
Yeah.
I went with I managed to rally everybody on the station against her, right?
Yeah, same.
So, the fight was trivial, right?
Yep.
However, I had one of those moments where one of the people, Hieronymus,
He turned on you.
No. What happened was, he died during the fight.
Oh.
But, in Rogue Trader, it's really hit or miss if dying during the fight means that you die.
Yeah, do you just like go into an unconscious state instead?
Right, and then they just get up in a cutscene at the end, right? They're fine.
Yeah.
Well, apparently that was a bug. There was a patch that came out about a week later that fixed the bug, so that if Hieronymus dies in the fight, he stays dead.
Oh.
So, guess what happened to my save?
Oh no, did it get corrupted?
So, he died during the fight, but at the end of the fight, he was fine, right? And I figured, oh, okay, so this is one of those cases where he doesn't actually die, right?
Yeah.
Because the developers realized how much of a pain in the ass it is to keep random NPCs alive.
Mm-hmm.
Only to find out in the patch notes a few days later that was not the case. That if he dies in that fight, he's supposed to stay dead. So later, right before I left Footfall to start chapter 4 to go through the gate, guess who was dead?
Fucking Hieronymus.
Hieronymus. And now I'm like 8 hours later, like I can't go back. You know?
No. Ain't going
it's like,
back
what
that
the fuck, guys?
Yeah, do you want to know what happened to me in that fight?
Him.
Do you want to know what happened to me in that fight?
What happened to you in that fight?
So, it wasn't a bug, but I'll tell you what Hieronymus did. So, when Corda was killing everybody, I rallied everyone against her, even Hieronymus. So...
Yeah, I got literally everybody.
We went to face her, and she shows up, and she goes, why should I stop my righteous penitence? And I passed some persuasion checks and convinced her that what she was doing was wrong. And so she literally bent the knee to me and went, what can I do in penance? And I had the option of executing her and a few other things, and I just said, I'm not going to kill you, choose your own punishment. And she decided to go into exile. And literally, whenever she left, all of her soldiers that she brought with us attacks us, and Euronymous goes, she has just proven that she is willing to follow the Emperor's path no matter what by throwing herself into exile. I must kill you, unbeliever, and then he attacks me.
Oh my god.
Like, are you fucking serious?
All
So
right.
I had to kill Euronymous.
That's so fucking stupid.
It was so stupid. I was like, why is he fighting me? He's literally my ally 2 seconds ago.
That's really
No.
stupid.
I
What's
have
up,
to
man?
fight you.
Hi, Razor.
It's alright. Testing
up,
our
everybody?
allies makes us stronger.
Hi, Fen.
Hello. Yeah, hello.
Fen is big.
So, anyway, all that shit happened. The game is super buggy. The
Very
further
much.
you get in. Like, it's just... The game is literally ripping itself apart, it
Like,
seems.
through Act 2, I was fine. After
Yeah.
Act 2, everything went to shit.
Everything, it just falls apart.
What are you talking about? Baldur's Gate 3 or?
Rogue Trader.
No, we're talking about Rogue Trader.
I mean, Baldur's Gate had
3
the
is
same problem when it came out, but
Yeah, now it's way better put together.
yeah. The problem, Rogue Trader also has the balance issue that all Owlcat games have, where
Yeah.
you'll be doing okay. Like, it's like, okay, my build is working. I'm alright, right? And then you'll just have one fight that kicks your fucking ass in, and then everything goes back to being okay.
What difficulty are you playing on?
Normal?
Yeah, I just played on the normal one, whatever was suggested. And I honestly, by the end, I was kicking the game's ass because I actually fucked up the final boss pretty horribly. Except for one thing that it does, but I won't spoil what that is because it was so funny to me when it happened.
Oh, I'm sure.
You're pretty damn close to the end. You said you're fighting Necrons right now. You're pretty damn close to the end.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to the end, I know.
Because you don't fight Necrons until the end.
But yeah, the game's falling apart. It's it's something. Also, I have a
Thankfully,
question, Cargo. How do you
Okay.
feel about the Space Marine as a party member?
Okay, so I had a bit of
I think
I had
he's
some ups and downs
trash.
with him. I like fighting wise or like companion story wise.
Fighting wise.
Fighting wise, he is my most powerful member by the end.
Really?
Yes.
I think
Like
he's
how do you
fucking
use
garbage.
him?
I don't know how to. That's the problem.
So
Because he
he's-
starts at like level fucking 30 and I have no control over those abilities.
Yeah, I hated that too, but you can kind of fix him later on. So I'll tell you what I did with him that made him so overpowered. So the soldier archetype, right, gets versatility stacks. And with more versatility stacks, you can get more attacks, right? So burst fire, you can attack as many times as your weapon has fire rate. So I gave him a heavy stubber. If you look at the stats, it looks like a terrible weapon. It does 3 to 5 damage, but it has the highest rate of fire in the game at 10.
I did try that. I tried giving him a heavy stubber and I liked
So
it,
it had
but
10 attacks every
Right.
burst fire.
right. It
And he
has
could-
a ton of attacks. The problem is armor pen.
He could, at maximum attacks, attack 5 times, 5 burst fires a turn, 50 shots. Okay?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, with the
See, I couldn't
confident
figure
approach skill,
Like,
you
I just
can
couldn't
get
figure that out.
guaranteed crits every time he hits. Although these crits are half damage of a normal crit.
Right.
However, there are abilities in the soldier tree that increase crit damage, and
Mm-hmm.
items that increase crit damage. So every 3 to 5 damage shot, for me, was now doing 30 to 45 damage per hit.
Right. See,
So
the
every
thing that I
time he
couldn't
burst
figure
fired at
out
something
was
with like 6,000 HP, it went down by like 200 every time. It was amazing.
I
was
couldn't
broken.
figure out how to build him to have multiple attacks per turn. That's what
There's
I
an
was having trouble
ability-
with.
There's an ability called Wildfire.
Wildfire.
Yeah, there's an ability called Wildfire where the more stacks of versatility you have, it decreases the AP cost to use it, and it can go down to 0.
Oh,
So
okay.
he gets a free attack. Also,
Gotcha.
I paired him with Cassia all the time because Cassia can give somebody a free turn with unlimited amounts of attacks. So he can attack as many times as he has AP, and he has abilities that decrease AP to make
Right.
attacks.
My
So with Cassia, he could attack like 7 times instead of 5.
my captain is an officer with the same abilities, so
That's even better. He could be even more OP because mine wasn't.
but what I tend to do is I have the Eldar with the Eldar Ranger with the sniper rifle.
He's very good. She's very good.
And I have the what are they called? The
Sister
Master
Battle.
Tactician stacks.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you get an ability. One of the abilities you get is that you can use your stacks to buff their base damage.
Mm-hmm.
And that damage buff, if you cast it twice, maybe 3 times, depending on how long the battle is on her. Most of my tough battles basically boil down to setting up this one turn. So
That's
I
entirely
will do what I can to reduce enemy armor, if I can. And I will use that ability on her to buff her damage up a bunch. And then hit her with Voice of Command and whatever else I have. Then use the heroic action that the officer gets to give her a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Where she can keep attacking, right?
Yeah.
And every time she kills an enemy, she gets AP back.
Yep.
So during like tougher battles, like during like fighting the demon in chapter 2, was it 3?
There's multiple ones where you fight demons, but yeah,
The one on the Forge World.
or 2.
Anyway, it had like 2,000 health.
Yep.
I basically won the fight by setting up that turn, giving her a turn, and then she just took 10 shots and killed the boss in one turn.
She's also a good choice for the extra turn.
Yeah. I give it to her almost every single time for that reason. Because it's, oh, I can just keep shooting until I run out of ammo.
There's a funny
Just
bug
keep-
where if there's a bunch of chaff and you want to clear them out and you do like burst fire, like for example, I would always have Abelard in the way of the burst fire. So every time he would dodge, he would start rubber banding all over the place, dodging the amount of bullets being fired at him. He would rubber band into the floor to avoid the amount of bullets flying his way. It was
Abelard
so
is the
funny.
best party member in the game.
Oh, 100%. I
It's-
love
it's
his
not even-
character. I love
it's-
his stats. I love everything about him. Perfect.
It's not even fucking close. He's just the best character in the game. By far.
100%.
He's so good.
Nothing
This
brings
game.
me more joy than going into combat and going, Abelard, crush this man's balls.
Did you see that meme?
Yes.
That actually reminds me of we were doing a Star Wars D&D campaign, and we had a character who was like an NPC that we controlled, and his name was Chappie, and the go-to saying for the entire campaign was, "Chappie, whack his pee-pee."
Outstanding.
Abelard is a fucking G. He starts
He
the
really
game super strong and ends the game super strong.
Oh, dude, I have a good Abelard story. So this happened in the final boss fight. So the final boss goes up to Abelard, and I have him buffed to high hell, and I'm like,
Always.
oh god, Abelard's about to take a big hit. Please survive, please survive. And he whacks Abelard, 0 damage.
Yep.
He just stands there like a brick fucking wall, and at this point, I had Abelard built, so that way he would, whenever he would take a melee hit, he would hit back twice.
Oh god.
And
He's
he
only doing it
fucked up
once.
the boss.
I only have him doing it once. That's crazy.
I had an item that gave him the second one. It was
Nice.
so good.
I
Literally,
have
I could have him
I
run
found an
by
item in
people.
chapter 1 that changed Argenta from one of the best party members to an unstoppable killing machine.
Oh yeah.
There is a chance to get a it's a talisman. It goes in the top right slot.
Mhm.
And it is a unique item that makes it so that bolter weapons on single shot attacks never miss.
Oh,
Ever.
I never got that.
I got it in chapter 1. So
That's
she's
pretty
been in my
fucking
party
good.
non-stop. Because I just give her a bunch of attacks. No matter, she can't miss. Now, burst attacks can miss. Right? It only applies to one shot, like one target attacks. But if I give her like 5, 6, 7, 8 attacks in a turn, none of them miss. Ever. Period. No matter where the enemy is, no matter what cover they're using, it doesn't matter. They are guaranteed to
Dang.
hit.
Pretty damn good.
It's so good.
It sucks that she's
you
so
built a
good in
monk that
combat,
can't miss.
but her
Pretty much.
character is shit.
Yeah, her character is annoying. I don't like her.
Her companion quest is the weakest in the game.
Easily. It's
I've
fucking
completed all
garbage.
companion quests except for one. Or, well, I guess technically two.
I
because
don't really
killed
like
the
Jay
Dark
either. I think
Eldar.
she's kind of meh.
Hers was weak. I killed the Dark Eldar, so I don't even know what his was. And I had a bug where I could not complete Heinrich's.
Really?
Yep. Heinrichs came into my personal quarters to give me the quest, and mid cutscene, I got cut to another cutscene to handle a different issue. I reloaded the save, trying to get it again, and the same thing would happen where I'd go through a bit of dialogue, and then I would get cut to the other more important matter, and
That's
I could not
fucking
bring
annoying.
up. I could not bring it up again.
Is
With
it the
Heinrichs,
one
I
where
did
you have
not
to go to the
use
planet?
It was
Like
one
he's
where I
telling
had
you,
to make,
hey, I need to go to this planet.
Yeah, he was like, I need to go find this person, and I was like,
Right. So I
okay.
did that. And then the quest stalled. I'm not sure if something is supposed to come after that or not, but I
Jesus
think it's
fucking
really weird
God.
that I've effectively declared war on his Inquisitor and he hasn't said a fucking word.
He did for me. You see, I had the same kind of issue where like I'm tracking down his Inquisitor, and he didn't have anything to say until you reach the planet where the Inquisitor's on. Then he'll talk to you about it.
That's weird.
Where are you at, Cargo?
It's like,
Oh, I haven't even booted up the game.
it's so
I'm
weird.
so intently talking
Because
about
like
Rogue
he's
Trader
he's
because
not
it's-
technically a part of your retinue. He's
No.
just working with you on behalf of the Lord Inquisitor. And you find out that the Lord Inquisitor might just be a big filthy fucking heretic.
He told me, no,
And then he just
told
doesn't
me in
say
the,
anything.
in the cutscene where he gives you the quest, in the first half of it, he tells you that he's going to stick with you to find out what the Inquisitor's real intentions are.
And so Interrogator Heinrichs is like, it is okay that you killed over 50,000 inquisitorial troops when you blew up those ships.
He's chill with it because he's like on the fence that he might be betraying the Imperium because he doesn't know what he's doing yet. I did not take Heinrichs on the final mission though, so I do not know what his opinion was.
I am going to do that just to see. Also, because
a
you can
question.
kind of build him like Abelard and make him also just a melee G.
I used him for his
How do you
Psyker abilities. He was like
build that?
Idara, but way better.
How do you build that top piston part?
Like the piston head.
Yeah, because like obviously one of our drills is missing, so I was just kind of.
Oh,
In the like the panel, you should be able to click on the piston and add piston head.
yeah. Yeah, there's an option in the control panel to add the piston head if it breaks off. What are you doing?
Add piston head.
Oh,
Add
by the
more
way,
stuff.
Awol, I hope you handled everything in Rogue Trader before you went through the gate, because you will not. Like
I
as
know.
the game warned you, you will not go back.
Yeah, I know.
But so you know how at the end of Fallout New Vegas, it goes through like panels of telling you what happened to everything.
Mm-hmm.
You get that at the end of Rogue Trader, except in a text box.
Okay.
It tells you literally what happens to every character, every companion, every crew member, every planet you own, every event, and every place you visited.
Holy shit.
It took me 35 minutes to read through all of the shit that happened at the end. To be fair, I was left satisfied because I knew what happened. But it also
That's a
tells you
lot.
what it tells you what happens throughout your entire like your reign. It told me what happened for like the next like 50 to 100 years, I think, of my protectorate.
Mm-hmm. Did you finish the Space Marines quest?
I did. Did you?
Yeah, I think so. I found his battle brothers.
I was so disappointed with it.
Yeah, I wasn't happy either.
Because literally it's just like, okay, you fight ghosts, and then I was like, oh cool, we're gonna get the fight of Wolfen, and then it's like, here's a storybook. I'm like, fuck!
Yeah.
Why?
I don't like the storybook thing that much. I know why they do it. In certain places, I know why they do it. Because they want to tell a more imaginative story.
Yeah.
There are
Like,
parts
for
where
places, it
like
makes
animating
sense.
this or showing it in game would just not work. So let's do like theater of the mind, right?
Yeah. Like,
And
two
in
places
those
where I thought
cases,
that
I'm
made
like,
sense
I like
was
this.
like Decava Gamma, whenever Scrap Code invaded your ship, it made sense there. Or whenever you besiege a planet, it made sense there. Like, that was fair. I can understand why they did the storybook method. But then it's like, when it's a fight...
There was the one in Komara
Yeah, the
with
assassination
with the
attempts.
assassin. I liked it in that one.
Really?
I did.
I did not like when fights were storybook, because I
I
was like,
like it because
just let me
that
fight.
one was good. I think that one was written well, and I think that it's a case of they would not have been able to like do that justice.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Unless it was like another one of those bosses where like they had a reaction turn every time you had a turn, which,
I fucking hate that.
yeah.
It's
That's a
just
filer,
so
man.
annoying. Like, oh, the enemy, that fucking Farseer boss
Yo, fuck the Farseer.
was
Which
fucking
one?
awful.
Which one? I only
It's
remember
part of
like three.
Adira's quest.
Oh, was it the end boss of her companion quest?
Yes.
He was annoying, but I killed him so fast that I don't think I experienced how annoying he was.
He was so fucking annoying. The fight started in a really annoying position, and I didn't want to reload the save.
Oh, okay.
But like basically every single fight in that game where you start surrounded is awful.
Pretty much.
They're all just awful.
Yeah, I hated the ambush fights. They were annoying.
Ambush fights are so fucking annoying.
And I
But,
hated it more whenever it was a situation where you weren't ambushed. Like,
Yeah.
they show up, they talk to you for a straight 5 minutes, and it's like, oh no, you're ambushed. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, my companions
Yeah.
could have done something. They just stood
Yeah, I
there
hate
with
that.
their mouths hung open. Like, what are you doing, guys? Come on.
I hated that.
Well,
They're doing their
I
best.
fixed the drill, and now it should be ready to go again.
Okay, I'm gonna be real with you, Razor. I don't even remember what we were doing.
What we were doing is we were building our defenses up. Like we were working on. Last time we worked on that turret up there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I
Yeah,
planned
we were
on,
armoring it up, and
uh,
then.
I remember
build,
what I
like,
was-
the whole thing down there.
remember what I was gonna do. I was gonna build mining ships, that way I could go to space, mine uranium, and
Yeah.
fucking we can make a bigger gun.
Yep.
I remember I
But
also
yeah,
used
not being able to
expanded
kill him
fire.
quick was annoying. Because he gets a turn at like constantly. He gets reaction
Was
turns
this your spaceship?
constantly.
Yeah, that's the spaceship I'm working on, Razor.
Right?
Yeah, I hated the reaction
He
turn
also
bosses.
just
It was so
had-
annoying.
I watched him shoot a lightning attack at Abelard 12 times in one turn, come back around on the next round, and do it again. And I'm just sitting here like, why is this guy getting like 10 attacks on every turn? What the fuck?
I hated enemy psychers. They were so annoying.
Yeah, they are really annoying.
It was just like, oh yeah, your
Enemy
whole
psychers
party's
hated
doing
you.
alright. Just start exploding the entire party with endless lightning attacks. I'm like, oh my god.
so annoying.
Also, I'm gonna make a gripe about the end of the game because you fought Inquisitorial agents already. You
Mm-hmm.
know they have the Soulless trait.
Mm-hmm.
Any warp damage is reduced to like 2.
Mm-hmm.
If your party was majority psyker, or if you built your party majority psyker, what the fuck are you supposed to do at the end of the game?
Nothing. I hate the
Ex-
fact
like,
that the game does not always tell you if a psychic attack will just do no damage. Because
Yeah, no,
you'll
it
target
tells you it will
something
do
and
no
it'll be
damage.
like, oh, this will do 50 to 60 damage. And then you do it and then 1. Oh, cool. Thanks for letting me know that that was going to do no damage.
Yeah, like the damage previews worked every time except for that instance, and I was so annoyed by that.
Like, thank you for wasting the turn. I really appreciate
All right,
it.
I built what you had on it.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll work on it.
overall, if I had stopped playing the game when I got to Komara, I would have given it a 9 out of 10. Every hour of the game that I have played since I got to Komara, the score has just been going down.
You see, having completed the game, even with all of its bugs and everything, I think I would still give it a 7 or an 8.
I would give it like a 7, maybe an 8, as of
'Cause,
now.
like I still enjoy it. I think it also hurts it that I'm
enjoy
thinking about
it.
Baldur's Gate. Like
See, I
Baldur's
didn't
Gate
play
released
Baldur's
so
Gate.
recently that I was like, I might be comparing it too harshly.
I haven't
because,
played
like-
Baldur's Gate, and I have to say, I am also a person that doesn't like CRPGs that much,
Oh, fair enough.
but I dove into this one because I was like, well, it's Warhammer. This is a Warhammer RPG. I can't say no. Right? Like,
If you're a big Warhammer nerd, this game is good. It has a lot of lore
God,
and a lot
yeah.
of substance.
And that's
for
one
you
of the
to
reasons why that's one of the reasons why I give it a high score at all. Because it is balls deep into Warhammer lore.
Like, I
like,
learned
it will
so
just
much
talk about random
factions
shit.
present than I knew going in. I learned so much about them that I did not know before.
They'll
I remember
just talk
hearing
about
somebody
random
talk about
lore shit.
Warhammer lore, and they were like, "Oh, do you know about Warhammer lore?" And they're like, "No," and then they start explaining it, and they're like, "Well, why would I learn all this Warhammer lore?" And he's like, "If you want to be depressed." They're like, "What's a good place to be in Warhammer 40K?" And they're like, "Dead."
Yeah.
There's a running joke that if you're into Warhammer and people are like, "Do you want to be in the Star Wars universe?" Yeah, I do. And it's like, "Do you want to be in the Warhammer universe?" Fuck no, I don't.
Get me out of here.
I remember what I learned.
If I woke up in the
about
40K
Warhammer.
universe, I would just kill myself. No, just
It's the easiest
There was-
way out. Even
there
then,
was
there's no
one-
I'm
guarantee
good.
that you'll
I'm
be
good.
okay.
I want nothing to do with that shit.
There was one chapter in the Warhammer universe that I was like, I'd like to be part of that universe or that chapter, and it was the Harlequins.
The Harlequins do have a good time.
Yeah, the
Because like
Harlequins
their
aren't
whole
that
thing
bad.
is they're the battlefield is their theater.
Yeah.
So they're like, I just like fucking with people. Like, oh, this like religious leader's at the climax of his speech, I'll just kill him now. And then all of his subjects will watch him explode.
Harlequins
Or
are
like,
just
oh.
having a good time.
Yeah.
They're there to
And
meme
then-
and have a good time.
And then you hear about some of the Space Marine chapters where they're like, oh, if you ever see one of these Space Marine chapters, even if you're part of, the Emperor's holy army, you know what I mean? And you see them, you have to die because their existence is a secret. So
Yeah, the Grey
they
Knights.
have to kill everyone.
The Grey Knights totally just show up to planets, save everyone, and then slaughter them.
And I'm like, that's
stupid.
kind of fucked.
I was
Imagine
actually
like, you're like,
recently
oh, thank
retconned.
God we've been saved. And the fact that like nobody, like how rare it is for you to see a Space Marine
Yeah.
as like a normal.
Well, it's also
normal
just
grunt.
weird because that's the reason why it's always been a weird lore thing that the Grey Knights kill anyone that sees them. Like normal people, right?
Mhm.
Because hardly anyone in the Imperium will ever see an Astartes to begin with. So, like, what information do they have to pass on to the enemy? Oh, it's a big gray space marine. Like, they don't fucking know. It might as well be an alien, you know?
Now, sorry for sidetracking. To my knowledge, a Sister of Battle, they're not celibate, right? Can I marry one?
They're they're daughters of the Emperor.
There's different orders.
There are different orders.
Different orders do have like celibacy, but others don't. Most don't, actually. So yes, you can date and supposedly marry one, although they usually die on the battlefield, so that marriage probably won't last long, brother.
Let me put it to you this way.
I believe.
Most sisters are not celibate, but
My
Games
boo-boo
Workshop has always been very mum about whether or not they actually are.
My boo-boo can make it. I believe in her.
They're daughters
One
of
of
the
my
Emperor.
favorite things is
The Emperor is the only one that can do them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I mean, if you worship the Emperor enough, you know, anything can happen.
Fair.
I'm like, sure.
If you're just as devoted as they are, you know.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, Warhammer.
Because-
Warhammer has a lot of lore, and Rogue Trader goes balls deep into that lore. There are a
What
couple
is
of
it?
times where they start talking about really obscure Warhammer lore, and I'm just like, holy shit. Blew my mind.
There were parts where I'm like, I can't believe they brought that up, or I didn't even know that.
I remember
talking
reading about the
about,
sisters.
You go
And
first.
I remember reading about the sisters and how how they some of them, if I think it's like if they're dishonored or something like that, or if they fuck up, they have to go into battle like essentially naked, only wearing like script from the books and wielding a sword.
Yep.
And they have to kill like a certain amount of things or live like a
They have
certain
to
amount of
atone.
time on the battlefield.
Repentia.
Yeah, the Repentia.
But those sisters are insanely strong. 'Cause
Yeah.
If you've lived that long on the battlefield while killing things, wearing nothing, you're a god.
That's the thing. If they survive, they actually get welcomed back in with open arms.
Yep.
However,
Well, because,
if they
you know,
run again, they get put in the Penitent Engine, which is a torture device, but also a killing machine. So you get sent into battle basically as a roid-up rage monster stuck in a machine, which is basically an
Yeah.
Iron Maiden, essentially.
the Penitent Engine is
I
pretty
remember
dope.
that.
It's fucked up. It is so fucked up.
Okay.
And nothing
There
can
is
fucking
one
stop
thing
it.
that is so fucked up that GW walked it back. And it's a sisters thing.
I don't know if I heard
Do
about
you
this.
know what it is?
I haven't.
It's cherubs.
Oh wait, they rolled back cherubs?
Cherubs still exist.
I thought they kept them.
Cherubs still exist. However, they are now bat grown.
Oh yeah, okay, I did hear about this.
Because GW sat down and thought, you know, maybe we shouldn't have this really edgy lore thing where infants are just being lobotomized and cut up and turned into machines. People don't like
Yeah.
it when you write that kind of stuff.
It was pretty messed up.
It was pretty messed up.
Every
Now,
time I
to be
saw
fair,
cherubs, it was
Servitorization is fucked up.
Yes.
But doing it to children is where GW drew the line.
I love how in text-to-speech, whenever the cherubs showed up, they would always destroy them and go, what the fuck?
Yeah, cherubs are fucking... They're fucked up for Warhammer, and that's
It
saying
was-
something.
It was a very, like, someone wrote this clearly to just make it as bad as possible kind of thing.
Oh, like that one book.
The, what book? I was
That
gonna
one
say,
Warhammer
like, the
book that
Monka
is like... The what?
The Monkla book? Whatever the fuck it's called.
Is that what it is?
Where they try to birth Space Marines.
Yes!
Yeah.
Is that not a book?
I think it's a part of a book. It's not
It's
a whole
part
book
of a book,
describing
but it's not
one
the
thing,
whole
but-
book. But it's part of a book, yeah.
Yeah,
That-
like an
that
Elfin Ring
shit-
gets captured and sent to an
That
Iron
shit
Man,
is
so-
literally... They hired a fucking psychopath to
Yeah,
write the
literally.
most fucked up thing they could come up with.
Yeah,
Like,
it's one
that
of the
is
worst things in
over the
Warhammer.
top, even for Warhammer.
Yeah.
If you want to talk
drew a
about over
hole
the
up.
top, what about like the guy who just steals worlds because he feels like it?
Which
You
guy?
know,
The
that
undead
isn't actually
guy, like
as
the robot, like
Oh,
undead guy.
you mean the Collector Necron?
Yeah.
He isn't really that fucked. I mean, yeah, it's messed up what he does, but like at this point it's just kind of a funny haha meme more than anything.
Trazen?
Yeah, Trazen.
Is it Trazen the Infinite?
Yep.
I think so.
I think that's his name. Yeah, he just has
I'm
a
not
big museum.
super
That's his thing.
versed in it.
He just likes to collect stuff. Because he thinks
He'll
it's
like
neat.
collect space marines, and he's just like, you're mine now.
Yeah, he puts them on display.
That's true. He does put people frozen in time forever.
And puts them on display in his museum that nobody else gets to walk through. It's just for him.
Yep.
It's a good
But
one.
I thought it was insane. Like, he must be incredibly powerful for him just to be like, I'm just gonna.
I mean, he is
take
pretty
this
strong.
Planet, and I'm gonna
He
take
is
this
very
temple, and it's mine now.
The Necrons have a device. I think it's called the Celestial Orrery,
Yep.
and it is a fairly large device from their ancient times. It maps every celestial body in the galaxy at once, live. And also, to some extent, has the ability to, they just poke a star, and then the star blows up.
They have a map of every star in the known galaxy, and
Yeah.
they could poke it on the map and it would explode.
Yep.
Now
That's
they're like,
stupid.
that's so powerful. Why don't they just use it? And the reason they had to retcon this reason in is because they're forbidden from ever using it.
Yeah.
Literally, whoever's guarding it, like, they don't let anyone use it just because it's that insane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they had
that
to
would be
retcon
pretty
it a little
busted.
bit.
They just win.
Well, yeah.
What do you,
it's
what
like
do, you
if
do
the
against
Necrons,
power against that?
And the
Nothing.
Necrons don't need stars to survive.
No, they don't. They can literally just poke every star in the galaxy and just win.
Anytime they encounter fierce resistance, they can just pop the star.
It's like,
and move
oh,
on.
there's the Emperor's army here with a whole bunch of space marines that we can't beat. Okay, poke.
Yeah, they can literally just poke the star of the Sol system and fucking destroy the Earth. They could literally do that, but they don't.
They could defeat the Imperium with one finger.
Give it a quick poke.
Give the Imperium a quick little.
Although, to be fair, it is GW. GW would
like-
just come up with a reason why you can't blow up that star in particular.
They write themselves into a corner a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and then they scramble to write their way out of it.
They're like, what do? We just made an all-powerful being that could literally fuck the entire universe with a single flick of his wrist. He can't.
He just
Why?
can't.
I don't know. He can't.
He's not allowed.
What's funny is usually
against
the
the
excuse
rules.
is something dumber, or they make something even more powerful. like you
He's
just making
scared
it
of
worse.
this guy on the enemy side that could kill him with a flick of his wrist.
He doesn't want
Yeah,
to.
that is sometimes what they do, and it is so stupid.
And it's like, but why doesn't he just do anything? Because he's afraid of this guy who could. I'm like, oh my god.
Hey, you know what? You know
Guy
what?
over there.
You know what? Cool recent
You know
story
what?
thing was pretty cool though.
What was that?
Lionel Johnson kicking the shit out of Angron.
Yeah, I did enjoy reading about him beating his ass. I love watching Angron get slapped around.
It's great. He fucking
mean-
deserves it.
He does, but Angron to me is like a tragic character. I do
He
feel
is,
bad
he
for
really
the guy.
is.
But
He is a tragic
Angron in his
character.
current state just deserves to be slapped around.
He's also just, unkillable permanently.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
can't die. Like
I
other
don't
what are they called? The Daedric Primarchs. Or not Daedric, the Chaos Primarchs. I can't remember what they're called. But like technically most of them can die. The Traitor Primarchs, yeah. Angron is a very special case of any time his physical form is killed, which is very hard to do. He just respawns in the warp a week later. Like, he can't die.
It's very dumb.
And he's really pissed about it.
I mean, it just makes it so that way, like, he's just guaranteed to suffer always, and he's just always angry. It just adds on to his constant anger. It's like, well, I guess that makes sense.
That's the tragicness of it, right?
Yeah.
Is that, like, all of the people in Warhammer that have tried to make themselves immortal and can't, and Angron is effectively immortal for all eternity.
He's immortal and
he's
wants to
so
die.
fucking pissed. He's so angry about it.
It's literally one of the only people in the setting who does not want to be there, and he's forced to be there at all times.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He's one of the only traitor Primarchs that's like, man, this sucks. I fucking hate this.
I don't know, I'd say Perturabo also hates it.
Oh, that's true, but he's a petulant
But
man-child.
he just hates everybody, so I mean, it kind of
Yeah, it's not fair. That's not
fair.
fair, because Perturabo is just a dick. Perturabo, if I had to pick any one person that Big E needed to just lay over his knee and spank, it's Perturabo.
I love Perturabo for that reason alone. He's just so funny. He's so stupid, it's funny.
Wait. So, answer this question for me. Those of you who are learned in the ways of 40k. Why does everyone worship the Emperor?
You want to take that one, Cargo?
I can try.
I mean, I know a
So
lot
why?
about Warhammer lore, so it's
Like,
up to
you
you.
never see the dude, you only hear that he's a god, and then that's it.
So in the
You never see
40k
him,
sense,
you
he's
never know
basically
him.
stuck as a skeleton in a chair for now. And
For now.
the-
Probably
he's still
forever, knowing
technically
GW.
He's still technically alive. So nobody worshipped him as a god in 30k, which is basically another version of the setting.
Back in the
But
day,
40K
when Big E was walking around, he thought religion was stupid.
Yeah. He literally told everybody, don't worship me as a god, that is stupid.
Yeah.
And one of his sons, a little fuck named Lorgar, really viewed him as a god, and the Emperor actually hated that and said, stop doing that, but he did it anyway. And he managed to effectively convince everyone in the Imperium that Big E is a god. And Big E did not make it easy for everyone to say he's not a god, considering everywhere he walked, he's always blinding as fuck, apparently immensely beautiful, and just does everything with tremendous fucking superpowers. It was like literally he was
Literally
like,
had
I'm not a
golden
god.
halos
and
above
then
his head.
starts- There's a good meme where he goes, I am not a god, but come with me, and then he's like, sir, the shuttle's across that ocean, then he parts the ocean, it's like, what the fuck? It's-
I am
Like,
not
you
a
keep
god.
telling me you're
Proceeds
not a
to
god.
do god things.
yeah, literally, I'm not a god, proceeds to do god things, and like, and then he wonders why he's worshipped. It's so... he
So yeah,
effectively
people
is a
started
god.
worshiping him. He was pissed about it. Didn't like it. People did it in secret anyway. And then once he was entombed on the Golden Throne forever, there was nobody around to stop the worship.
What's
Yeah,
gonna
he's a
happen
skeleton
when
in
he
a
comes
chair,
back?
he can't say no.
Well, that's a good question, Razor, because GW will never bring back Big E.
He's never going to come back
Because
in the
if
sense
Big
of
E
what he was
just-
before.
Yeah, if Big E just snapped his fingers and returned to his mortal form from 30k, that would be it. The story would be over.
Yeah, the story would just end.
Because he would just win. Because he's Big
Basically,
E.
He's that strong.
Yes,
He
he
is
is over fucking powered.
the whole point of Big E is that he is the pinnacle of human evolution. He is as powerful as the human race could possibly be.
So let's just put this into
So
bit of
he's like a
perspective.
fifth dimensional being where if he thinks something, it happens.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
pretty much.
I mean, he could see the
Literally-
future and shit too.
The big bads of the setting, the 4 Chaos Gods, literally need to shove their collective juice into one man's asshole in order to get him to be strong enough to even compete with the dude.
Yeah.
The
So
4 big bads of the
Horus,
setting needed to combine powers to just match him. That was how
So-
crazy he was.
yeah, the 4 Chaos Gods did something that they don't do very often. They put their differences aside for a moment, and they buffed up Horus super hard, right? Made him the ultimate champion of chaos. And then Horus and Big E had a fight, and the only reason why Horus almost won is because Big E thought that maybe he could save his son. But the instant Big E realized that Horus was irredeemable, he killed him. And he killed him so fucking hard. Like, he atomized Horus's soul. He deleted him from existence. He killed him
really wasn't
so
fighting
fucking
him.
hard.
He was just kind of like messing around with him, and then he's like, "Oh wait, he can't do what I think he." Okay, bye.
Pretty much.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
So
I mean, he had more of an
Horus,
internal
the
struggle
most
with it, but
juiced up Chaos champion ever to that point. At that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big E was trying to redeem Horus to be like, hey, you're my favorite son. I don't want to kill you. You've been tricked. You've been lied to. On and on and on and on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when Horus killed his brother Sanguinius, Big E looked at his dead son, looked at Horus, and was like, okay, you can't be saved. You're irredeemable. You gotta go. So Big E deleted him from existence.
That's an extreme level of power. If somebody's like, all right, you never existed.
Well, it was very much a, and the way it's explained is that the Emperor realized that if he just beat up Horus or killed him, but like in any different way, the Chaos Gods would find a way to bring Horus back. To like piece his soul back together and give him a new body, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Big E was like, the only way that this ends definitively is if I erase every shred of my favorite son from reality. Everything has to go. There can be nothing left. So like, yeah, the Emperor's really fucking strong.
He's very powerful.
He's super powerful.
Even when he's stuck in his favorite fucking porta potty, he's very powerful.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he eats 1,000
he's a
psychers
skeleton
a day.
in a chair. What can he do?
He can still
lot.
use his psyker powers.
He does
Which
still
is basically his
occasionally
magic.
contact people directly.
Here, let's just put in the like one thing that he does. Literally one thing that he does sitting on that chair is he gives power and feeds this thing called the Astronomicon. The Astronomicon literally makes it possible for all of the Imperium to travel through space. If he were to die and the Astronomicon were to go out, nobody would be able to travel through space. They
Nobody.
would be
Imperium would
torn
fall.
apart by warp storms.
If the Astronomicon went out for like 10 minutes, billions of people would die.
Literally, if that shit flickered, it would kill billions.
Yeah. The Astronomicon is effectively a lighthouse in the warp, which is hell,
Oh.
basically.
Yeah. I remember
And-
hearing people like, you don't want to go into the warp, not even for
The
a
warp
fucking
is
second.
awful. It's like hell, but it makes the devil feel ashamed of himself.
It's hell plus.
It's hell plus.
I remember
it's awful. The warp is awful.
What is it? Some chaos god got displeased with like one of his servants, like one of his powerful servants or whatever, because he like fucked up, and so he just threw him into the warp, and then he came back, but he was like a two-headed bird or something like that.
Yeah, that happens.
Mhm.
But everyone I know loves corn.
Corn's
Oh, yeah.
great.
Blood for
He's
the
a
blood.
very simple guy to like.
Yeah,
It's-
blood for the
here's
blood
the thing.
god.
If you should never follow chaos, because it's not great. Sometimes it's better than the Imperium, but it's really not great. But if you have to pick a chaos god, always pick Nurgle.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Nurgle, isn't that the disease guy?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Papa Nurgle.
Because
Always
he
pick
like
Nurgle.
he's like the nicest person in the
Yeah, it's
entire
Papa
world.
Nurgle.
Who just loves everyone.
Yeah, Papa
actually cares
Nurgle.
about you.
He loves his followers.
Yeah, and all of his children, like they don't actually want to kill you. None of his beings actually want to hurt you. They just want to play with you. And then
Well, they
but
just
they're
wanna
like
spread
so
disease and
filled
shit.
with disease and
Yeah.
infection and sickness that you'll literally just die from being around them.
Well, Nurgle doesn't get stronger by just killing everyone. He gets power from pestilence, disease, suffering. Right?
Yeah.
So, like, if Nurgle shows up and just virus bombs a planet and kills everyone, he doesn't get anything from that.
Yeah.
He needs you to suffer.
Right. And, hey,
Fine.
if you agree to serve him for all eternity, the pain will end. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, apparently he's
And
one of
he's
the
a
easiest
nice guy,
to
I
fall
believe.
to.
He's one of the easiest to fall to because he's like, look, man, this disease, it sucks, bro. I get it. I made it. I know. All you have to do is agree to be my servant, and the pain stops.
Do
And
you
not
just die,
only
or
does
do you
the
become
pain
immune
stop,
to it?
you just become
No, no,
immune to it. Like, you don't feel it anymore.
You won't die. He'll never kill you.
Right. And it's not even that you become immune to it. It's the suffering of the disease brings joy to you.
You see, it's kind of fucked up because
It would be
Nurgle
like if
wants
stabbing
you to be
yourself
happy.
made you happy. That's kind of what it is. And that's why all
You
of
know,
Nurgle's
that's the
followers are just so
perfect-
happy.
That is the literal perfect comparison to what 40K is like. If stabbing yourself made you happy.
A lot of people in 40K get happy from stabbing themselves, to be fair.
That reminds me of a story with a Plague Marine where a guardsman was in melee range with a Plague Marine, and he takes out a knife and stabs it into the gut of the Plague Marine. Shit spews out of his gut, melts his hand off, and he's screaming in agony. And what does the Plague Marine do? He picks him up, gives him a hug, and just says, "Embrace Papa Nurgle, the pain will go away." And he's just screaming in agony.
Yep.
Just embrace Papa.
That's all you gotta do.
Nurgle just makes you a masochist, you know?
Nurgle's followers
he
are
doesn't
just
want you to feel
happy,
pain.
bro. They're just having a great time.
They're there to have fun, and they're gonna love doing it.
And that's why,
Where's
if you
the
have to
charging
pick
point
one,
for this?
pick Nurgle.
What was that reason?
Where are you gonna put the charging port on this?
Right there.
It's why all of Nurgle's, like, great demons and stuff look like they have the
I'm
biggest
probably just gonna
shit-eating
slap a
grin.
hydrogen engine on it and just make it generate its own power.
Why does his demons look like what?
It's why all of Nurgle's demons have the biggest shit-eating grin.
Yeah.
Because they're genuinely having a good time, spreading disease.
They're always happy, man.
Yep.
Like, if you were just straight up immune to disease in general, like, you could legitimately just go over and hug one of them and be like, "How you doing, buddy?"
Hey,
And they'd
best.
be like,
Well,
"I'm
that's,
doing good. I'm great."
There's a perpetual that Nurgle tests all of his concoctions on for that reason. I can't remember her name,
Nurgle-
though.
It's like an angel or
Isha.
something like that he captured, and she's like immune to everything.
Well, she's a
Or
perpetual.
no, she's like the goddess of healing or something like that.
Yeah, well, she is a perpetual, which is, there aren't very many of in Warhammer, but it's, like, the way perpetuals work is you could essentially reduce them to a chunk of flesh, and they will come back from that. Like, they can't die.
Like the Emperor, for example, is a perpetual.
Probably. They never
He's probably
say
transcended.
that
He's probably
the Emperor...
transcended that at this
Yeah.
point, but he is a perpetual.
Right.
Body-wise.
Vulcan.
Vulcan's a perpetual, yeah.
He'll just come back whenever he feels like it.
Yeah,
Basically,
Vulcan
if you
was a
the only way to
perpetual.
get
I wonder
rid of
why he
perpetual
doesn't
is to
feel like
reduce
it.
their atoms to nothing. You would need to annihilate them.
Which is
I
probably
wonder
what
what the
happened to
Emperor's
Vulcan.
reason is.
Nah, he's gonna come back.
I mean, he will
With the
probably
time
come
march
back,
returning, he's gonna come back.
but, like, he's gonna come back because GW wants to sell the mini.
Yeah. I do like
Finn?
Vulcan as a character, though, so I hope he does.
Are you driving?
No. Why is this thing moving?
I don't know, but it's moving.
That's
I'm
never a
running
good
to the
sign.
run right now.
I think we need to stop the machine.
Which machine?
The fucking rover that is rolling itself.
Can't.
Um,
I'm driving now, though.
okay, good, thank you. I had a minor panic attack.
It just, like, it lightly bumped into the shark is all.
Just a little panic.
But like, if Vulcan were going to stay dead forever, that would be the reason. Because when he died that time, it was pushing an orc into a reactor, which then exploded.
You know, the only way I feel like a Perpetual would ever get killed is if they died fighting Necrons.
Yeah, well, there are Perpetuals that have died. And it's usually because they had that ability removed somehow.
That's a big ship very close to our base. I mean, it's neutral, but...
It's also why there are some radicals in the Imperium that think that killing the Emperor will just make him come back.
Yeah.
But also,
Recently,
you
in the
can't just
30K
kill him.
Books, it probably told us what would happen, which... I'm willing to bet the Emperor will eventually die on the Golden Throne eventually. I feel like that will be where the story goes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I think that what they'll
I'm
do
afraid
is...
it'll get an end times treatment and they'll just fuck everything.
Because, like, the Emperor is not... I mean, he was never really human, but he's not a person anymore.
There's actually a pretty good quote about that, where, I can't remember who said it, but somebody said, the man who sat in that throne will not be the god that steps off it.
Right. That is the best way of putting what I was about to say. Like, the Emperor today is not the Emperor of 10,000 years ago. Like, that person doesn't exist anymore. He's been sitting there, suffering, slowly dying, and being fed 1,000 souls a day for 10,000 years. Like,
People.
he's just
Not
eating
just-
1,000 people every day. Like,
And not just 1,000 random people, they have to wrangle up 1,000 psychers every day.
they have to round up and train 1,000 psychers every day. Because it's a whole
Just to
thing.
be eaten by the Emperor?
Yes.
Yep.
That's crazy.
To maintain the Emperor's psyche.
Yeah, because whenever the Emperor got put on the Golden Throne,
He was fucked.
His soul and his conscience essentially got split apart into fragments.
He
To keep
had a
them
bad
together,
time.
he needs a bunch of souls.
He had a really bad time.
Which, you know what else eats souls? Chaos gods. You know what the Emperor
What?
isn't, supposedly? A chaos god.
What put the Emperor in that chair?
Fighting Horus.
Yeah, he fought
Oh,
his son
that-
Horus.
wow.
He wounded him pretty bad.
Yeah, Horus fucked him up pretty bad.
He literally had to go into that seat as a form of life support.
I can't find a spot where it just sits.
Do we have a parking brake?
Parking doesn't work on this right now.
Oh.
No, I don't know why.
Would you like me to just dig a trench for the wheels?
Might help, yes.
But tell me why.
You'd only need maybe some wheels, or don't make it too deep, otherwise it's gonna fuck with the suspension. Please, sorry. Go slow on this.
Let me dig two real quick.
Yeah, the only picture I've seen of the Emperor was the one where like he's holding the flaming sword, has like
Yeah.
and he's in like that big piece of armor.
There's
I don't even know
actually
what
not
that thing
a
actually
lot
looked like.
of official art of him.
That's 30k biggie, and there isn't that much for a good reason. It's one of those things of like, well, we don't want talk about. It's like how you don't want to show Jaws too much.
Yeah.
Like Jaws the movie is better because you don't see the shark.
Yeah. Supposedly, Emperor is also super intelligent as well, but every time he's ever written to do anything in a book, he's kind of an idiot.
He does a lot of stupid shit, but it's
He
also
does
like
a lot of shit.
It's hard to say
somebody
how
made
much
art of,
stupid shit.
Big E, but he's Keanu Reeves.
I mean, yeah, that actually would that would check out.
Keanu Reeves is nicer than the Emperor. The Emperor's kind of a dick.
The Emperor is a huge dick. But again, it's
also
also
saw-
hard to tell, like, did the Emperor know that his sons were going to betray him? Did he do it on purpose?
Probably.
He could literally foresee the future, but like
He
he just does a bunch
can.
of stupid stuff.
He
Like, what the fuck?
can, but he... There's there's a Horus Heresy book that goes into the details of how the Emperor sees the future.
Yeah, they also described it with Sanguinius because Sanguinius has the same thing.
Right. And it's
He
like, he
described
can
it as
see
like
the
a
future,
female, like-
but it's like... It's more complicated than that. So
I
he
saw-
explains it to a Thunder Warrior, I think. And he says, if I order you to go to that mountain over there, I can see every possible scenario of you either getting to or not getting to that mountain. But I don't know if you reach it until it happens.
There was one art where it showed like the height difference between a human and like all the different levels of human evolution, and then
Mhm.
like at the end it was like the Emperor,
The Emperor is a big
and
dude.
like a normal human comes up to like right below the Emperor's knee.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
just as tall as Ben, for real.
The Emperor is a big dude, but also it's implied that the Emperor's size is 100% up to how big he just wants to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, he
it's
can-
he can control.
He can
a
very
flex.
much just make himself the size of a normal human because he's done it before.
So he's
last church.
He'll just pretend to be, yeah, the last church on Terra. Perfect example of the Emperor pretending to be a normal guy so that he can talk to the last priest on Earth
he's just
before
flexing
burning
himself.
down the last church. Which, arguably, one of Big E's biggest mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's always hard to say because he can see the future and he's just trying to pick specific timelines out of the millions that he can see. Right?
You just have to match up events and see what happens at certain points to be like, which one does this apply to? But then again, if you're saying infinite timelines, there are infinite choices, and it becomes
Right.
impossible to choose one.
It's like the Doctor Strange thing. He can
Yeah,
see the millions of
timey-wimey,
timelines in front of him.
Wobbly.
And he can see, like, I need to make these events happen so that these timelines are more likely to occur. But,
Yeah.
and it goes back to the mountain thing. I don't know that you are going to reach that mountain until it happens.
There are so many stories in books and movies that tell you, like, if you try to change your fate, that it's gonna be incredibly difficult to do so. Now, imagine trying to do that for an entire fucking species.
I believe
Pretty
it
much,
said a lot of them is like people often meet their fate on their road to avoid it.
Yeah.
Like, so if like you find out what your fate is and you're like, oh, this is what's gonna happen, and then you're like, I don't like that, I'm gonna avoid that, you oftentimes end up having that fate anyway, but it's because you went to avoid it.
Right. And a lot of it comes
There's
down
a
to that.
theory that that's what happened.
Yeah, there's a theory that that's what happened, but there's also a theory that the Emperor planned for this.
I hate that one. I hate it so much.
I do too, but it's
Because
like,
the Emperor's an idiot. I don't want him to be right. I hate it.
I wouldn't say he's an idiot. He's just a dick. But like, it's hard to say because it's also hard to say just how genuine he was. Like, he claims that he was doing all of this for the good of mankind, and like, the Primarchs were a first step in advancing the human genome, bring people closer to him, because that's what he wants for the human race, ultimately. But like, we don't know that. It's just what he said. You know?
He could have lied. You wouldn't know.
And the other problem with the whole him being able to see the future and him being supremely powerful is, you know who else can see the future and is also supremely powerful?
my cock.
Chaos.
I knew it.
The people that he is, or the enemy that he is specifically trying to counter, because they are the only enemy that he is genuinely concerned with. It's like the aliens are like, it's fine, we'll deal with it. It's gonna be rough, but we can deal with it. Chaos is the one thing that Big E centered all of his plans around, because they're so dangerous. But so like, yeah, he can see the future and change fate to some extent, but also Tzeentch is literally fate itself. So there are limits, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can change your fate, would you?
If you could change your feet.
Would ya?
That one greater demon of Tzeentch has it pretty rough though. The one with the two heads.
I like the slow turn Cargo just did when I hit him with the saw. Just the slow turn.
The one Tzeentch greater demon that has the two heads, the two bird heads. One head sees the future and the other sees the past. And they can't see the present at all. And it's maddening.
Yeah, that's from the Void, I believe.
Like it has literally driven them mad.
Which actually makes it funny whenever you fight them, because they're like, you can't beat me, I saw what you did, and I see what you will do, and then you slap them in the face, and it's like, well, I didn't see that coming, because I can't see the present.
I feel like
even that one comes down to the same thing, the same problem with Big E's premonition, is it's like, he can see the future, but he can't see the future that definitely will happen. Just the futures that are likely to happen. Right?
Yeah, I was about to say that to the I was gonna say that sounds contradictory, because you know they already saw what you're doing, so they should know. But if they're seeing every possible one, then it
basically comes down to in almost every future I win, but in 0.0000001% of them you win.
And that just happens to be the future that we get
and that
to.
just happens to be the one that happens. It's literally the exact same thing that happens in fucking Infinity War and Endgame.
Keep loading the save file until we win.
Keep loading the save file until we win.
That's
and
what
Doctor Strange is like, I looked through
how many did we
futures.
win? And he's just like, one.
Millions of futures. We've won in one.
That's got to be a lie. With infinite. Like,
Well, because
you could only search through so many.
You can only search through so many.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So in constant reloading the save, he's like constantly reloading every time, and every second he's looking through an entire like situation to see if they win all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And one of those saves, he's like, we won in this save.
And at the same time, he also had like different versions of himself searching at the same time.
Yeah.
There's also kind of an argument.
Well, he also has the power
where,
of time, so he's literally just kind of. It's like infinite versions of himself searching through infinite timelines. So he's like, it's like a paradox. And it's like, can you search them all if there's an infinite number of you and an infinite number of timelines? It's like, technically, no, but also technically, yes.
There's also
It's
an
timey
argument
wimey
where,
bullshit.
like, if you fight somebody who can see into the future, if they focus so hard on trying to see the future, they like, oh, I finally found this one possibility where I dodged this incoming attack, that they ignored the present and didn't see that the attack was already coming.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to punch you, and it's like, I see, in this possible future, I can dodge this attack if I do this exact thing, and then in the present, the fist is already meeting their cheek.
For you, Finn, I think it would be equivalent to Heimdall.
Yeah. That's exactly who I was thinking of. Have you played through the new God of War game?
I watched a friend do it.
Yeah.
Ragnarok?
Yeah.
If you say one more word, I will castrate you.
You still haven't played through it?
I haven't played it, and I can't play it until it comes to PC.
Fair enough.
And I've been really good about avoiding spoilers.
Everything that happens right now.
I've been really good about avoiding spoilers.
I won't
And you
say
know what
downward.
else I have to avoid spoilers for, and I'm so fucking pissed.
Was that?
FF7 Rebirth.
Oh, wasn't Dreamy playing that?
She was playing the remake. So for
Remake, yeah.
FF7, when they at some point Square was like, remaking FF7 is taking too long. So we're just gonna make Midgar one game, and then we'll release it in like 3 or 4 parts. So Rebirth is part 2. And it's coming to the PlayStation 5 exclusively for at least a year. Which means I will have to avoid spoilers for FF7 Rebirth for a whole year.
Outstanding.
That's not gonna happen. You're gonna get spoiled. It's fine.
You're right. I've been really good with Ragnarok, though. I've only seen, like, a couple of things.
I think, what game was it? I think it was Baldur's Gate for me. Avoiding spoilers for that. But honestly, like, with the game and how expansive it is and how many options and how many ways and one, like, dialogue choice could change things. And it's like, I can't really be spoiled because it's like, it's sort of like looking into the whole bunch of timelines. And it's like, there is a timeline where this happens. The one thing that was spoiled was the Dark Urge.
Yeah, same thing happened to me.
I was like, oh, now I know what the whole point of it is.
I have seen exactly 3 cutscenes from Baldur's Gate 3. One is Asterion freaking out
Yeah.
about the temple being dropped on him or something.
Yeah, I love that scene so
Which is
much.
great. I loved it. The other one is a goblin throwing a halberd at Omni-Man.
Oh my god, I saw that one too. Jesus.
Yeah, Omni-Man. Yeah.
Omni-Man.
The arm on that goblin.
He was like, die, and then he's like, do it again.
Try again.
Yeah,
goblin had some fucking
imagine if that wasn't a
balls.
D&D campaign for you, like you legitimately impale this guy to a chair with a halberd. Like you toss it critical, like you straight up pin him from chest to back all the way into this chair. And he just pulls it out, throws it at your feet and says, "Do it again."
I have to respect the goblin for seeing that happen and then immediately concluding the only way that I might win this is if I go for the head.
Yeah, I mean,
And immediately got fucked.
Yeah. It didn't
Because
work.
that's what happens.
It didn't work, but if I had the ability to bring anyone back from the dead, it would be that goblin.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like, bro, mad respect. You get another chance.
Imagine if you went into a campaign, but it was like a legitimate, story-wise, like a smart fucking villain, where he's just like, I'm not gonna wait for them to get stronger. I want to kill them in their crib. You know what I mean? Like
fucking Voldemort.
Yeah, where he's just like, no, but this time it's like, oh, you're adventurers and you're doing your thing, right? But you've already inconvenienced me once, and I have seen this happen, so I'm just gonna show up as like a level 25 lich and just kill all of you. Like, villains have to be dumb. A villain that, like, does all that, like, that would actually be smart and be like, oh, these guys might be a pain in the ass later. Let me just deal with this myself and...
You see, an interesting way that could work is like, let's say your entire party all has a similar backstory, where all of their parents had like one kid, and then all of their kids mysteriously died, like their firstborns, and then all of you are the second-born child, and then the moment your party meets and does something, the big bad goes, oh shit, wait, the prophecy's still fulfilling, what did I do wrong? And then he's viciously hunting you down.
That would be fun.
Yeah, but the only bad thing is if like it rolls bad, so you'd really have to use like DM's mercy a lot, because
I
if you're
can
like
see
all
another
like a
thing
level
where it's
5
like-
adventurers and then like a level 20 lich just shows up, it's like, oh, well, we can't win that because he can just cast hold person 4 times and then kill us all.
The only way I can see a campaign like that working is if you had a powerful ally to kind of
Like help
balance
That's
it
one of
like
those
a god,
situations.
like a god wants the prophecy to go through, so the
Yeah.
god watches
that's-
over you and
that's
gets
what I
you
was
out of
about
those
to say.
terrible situations.
It's,
It would
it's
be.
that-
It would have to be one of those cases where the big bad evil guy thwarted the god's prophecy the first time, so this time they're taking a more active role.
It's the
They're like,
cliche
no,
mentor that dies to like further the story.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big E showed up and was like, "No."
No,
No,
nah,
you.
dog.
No, no.
I've already won.
One of my
Pretty sure you
favorite
have enough
things.
back thrust. You
is,
don't really
uh,
have a lot.
The Emperor didn't want to be
It's gonna be in
worshipped.
space.
Right?
It doesn't need a lot.
Yeah.
Probably. He probably
Just
didn't
go
want to
up
be
and
worshipped.
down.
Yeah.
It's possible
now you
the
need a-
Emperor was
you
saying
don't
he
need a
didn't want to be
docking port
worshipped
to
so
the
that he would
engine.
get worshipped harder. Because again, it's
Do we need
it's
like
Big E.
ice or something
Who knows?
to put in this?
Yeah. We'll need ice for the O2H2 generators, and then it'll power the hydrogen engine, which will power the batteries and et cetera, et cetera.
Do you want to?
You can start filling it with ice right now if you want to. There's literally an ice lake down there. We also have a shit ton of ice in the our O2H2 personal generator.
No, we don't.
Why would you lie, Vac?
What
We
do you
have
mean we
like
don't?
10,000. Like I can carry half of it.
We have been using it up since we got here. Just must be time to get more.
Never forget, the Emperor left to go build a
Where
webway
do I put it? H2O2.
And didn't tell anyone.
for some reason.
And he also didn't tell anyone about chaos. It's just fucking dumbest shit, man. This is why I firmly believe the Emps is
It's
an
too
idiot.
dangerous.
Firmly grasp it.
This knowledge is too dangerous for you.
Yeah, but you fucking hung out with Malkador all the time, and he knew the truth.
Malkador is a fucking boss, man.
It won't let me put it
He
in
is.
the generator.
Malkador's
What the
great.
hell?
Malkador, the fact that Malkador, who's just a normal
Can't
human,
go in the generator, has to go in the O2H2 generator. Open up all storages and then put it in the O2H2.
Malkador is just a normal guy that happens to be a stupidly powerful psyker. The fact that he sat on the Golden Throne while Big E went to fight Horus.
Yeah, he literally went,
Fucking
I'll take over,
baller.
big man.
I mean, it killed him. To be fair, it did kill him.
Like I
But
try
he
and
held it
drag
back
over,
the
but I
entire
have
time
to
he
put
was
it.
gone.
I have to put it in it directly.
You
Like
shouldn't.
I'm in I'm
It's because the conveyors aren't powered.
Like,
yeah.
Malkador, a normal guy, held back the forces of chaos and kept the Astronomicon going
Like,
the whole time Big E was fighting Horus.
Yeah, that's fucking based.
He's just a guy. Malkador was cool. To be fair,
Fucking
he was a cool
badass.
dude. But
Also, Olanius Pius was also a really fucking baller, just normal guy.
fuck, I lost my
Olanius
train of
Pius
thought.
was the normal dude that saved the Emperor's life.
Oh yeah, the guardsman.
Yep. He was
Yeah.
also a perpetual, but like he was also one of the only surviving people who had an original faith from Earth. Like he still had a cross in
Right.
40K, and the Emperor was like he was the only guy who was allowed to have that because Elanius said, "I'm keeping this, or you can go fuck yourself."
Jesus.
The Emperor was like, yeah, all right, fair.
He literally said that to the Emperor, and the Emperor was like, "You know what?
Fair
Fine, whatever. You're a perpetual. It's really hard to kill you. I don't want to fucking deal with it.
I mean, the Emperor could literally do it. He obliterated Horus from
He
existence.
can, but it's like, just because I can go fix the door doesn't mean that I feel like it. You know? It's like, I could do it. I could go mow the lawn.
And this is, I really can't think of the Emperor as a smart person. He did so much stupid.
He does a lot of
shit,
really
man.
stupid shit. Like, the whole time where he's talking to the fucking guy at the last church. And the
It's
guy is
basically a Reddit
explaining...
argument.
Yeah, well, he's explaining to the Emperor why what he's trying to do is impossible. And the Emperor is just like, no, and then burns it.
No.
Fuck you mean?
If that priest could see what is going on now, he would laugh in the Emperor's face because he was right.
He was very right. So, to keep a long story short, the Emperor went and talked to the last priest before burning the church down. And the priest basically explained to him, once the priest figured out who he was, that you're trying to separate man from faith, which is impossible. You can't do it. Just because you're destroying all of the faiths and all of the records of those faiths doesn't mean that faith is going to go away. It is an intrinsic part of being human. And the Emperor basically just says, I believe that we can be better than that, and then kills him. And guess what? He was fucking wrong.
No. What
Literally.
fuck you mean no?
I mean, that's what he...
love that
I mean,
meme.
he didn't use nuh-uh, but that's what he did. He just fucking nuh-uh'd and then burned the church down.
This fucking reminds me of what was it? It was like a Star Wars meme. It was like, Luke, I am your father. And then he's like, nuh-uh. Vader's just like, the fuck you mean nuh-uh?
I think the literal quote from the last church actually sums up how the Emperor is to a T. I think he literally says, like, the priest says something along the line of, and what makes you think this will work out for you? And the Emperor literally goes, because I am right.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking serious,
I mean,
dude?
He just
the Emperor,
him.
I don't know if I agree with the Emperor is an idiot, but the Emperor is arrogant. I definitely 100% agree with.
He's 100% narcissistic.
He is an arrogant
100%.
dickbag.
1000%.
Yeah, not a dude that I'm like, yeah, I would follow this guy into oblivion. He's kind of a douche.
That's
He kind of would
brother.
100% leave me to burn.
Brother,
It's also
that's-
just like,
that's heresy.
fuck, did the Emperor keep chaos secret? Like, 25% of the time when you go into the warp, you just come out full of demons.
Yeah, like, I don't know how he
My-
didn't explain that for so long. Like, what the fuck?
My favorite is honestly the orcs because like they're just a meme group. You know,
They really
like
are.
they all just like
The orcs are
huddle
great.
together and then they just run at you going, I'm a tank, I'm a tank, I'm a tank, I'm a tank.
The orcs are great. I love the orcs.
And then they shoot orcs at you.
Yeah, they do that. They do shoot
Yeah.
orcs
Or
at you
like
sometimes.
they're like, we believe that the color purple is a sneaky color. So
Well,
if you're wearing
I've never
purple,
seen a
you're
purple orc.
invisible.
Exactly. You've never seen a purple orc.
The
They're
orcs are there to
invisible.
have fun, and I am all for it.
It's
Also-
you know what there was one scene I remember from Warhammer 40K where these people were fighting orcs, right? And like these humans, right? They're fighting orcs and they're like part of like the Emperor's battalion, and they run out of fucking bullets
Oh, you're talking about
because
the
there's so many
one.
orcs. And
Yeah.
then they all just like one of the people just like points his weapon at them and goes bang, and then he falls. The orc falls over because he thought that he had bullets, and so he's like, "Trust me, everyone, just yell bang." And then they ended up pushing them back. All of them were screaming bang.
I love the I'm a tank.
I'm a
story
tank, I'm a
so
tank,
much.
I'm a tank.
I'm a tank. I'm
I'm
a
a tank,
tank.
I'm a tank, I'm a tank, I'm a tank.
It's a great meme.
Or
It's-
like
it's
they
also
believe
just
like the
not
color
true.
red makes you faster
Well, it does.
or something like that.
It does make
Yeah,
it
it
faster.
does.
What are you talking about?
Red does
And
make
so like
you
they'll
faster.
paint their ships faster, and it actually they have like the most broken power. They have the
Power.
They have any of you watched
They're also just immune to warp shenanigans.
have you guys ever watched like fucking what's it, One Piece?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cuz do you know about Luffy's true power?
I do. I don't know if anybody else here does.
He's just a fine guy.
You're telling me he doesn't just have extendo arms?
No.
It's more complicated than that. Yeah.
It's really more complicated.
He's got that.
But
Looney
needless to
Tunes
say,
power.
he's
Power of
very
friendship.
similar to the orcs in more ways than you can think.
Yeah.
He's got that Looney Tune power, you know.
Literally.
Literally.
There's like, did you? Oh my god. AWOL, have you seen Kaido?
I have. I have seen.
Have you
I have
seen
seen
Oh
the.
my god, dude.
I've seen
That
the.
shit was crazy.
I'm just gonna say it. The Joy Boy Kaido fight.
Oh, Joy Boy. God, he's so fucking memey.
He's
love it.
literally a Looney Tunes character.
Remember when he reached through fucking Kaido's eyes?
Yeah, he just
fucking like
his
Wang?
Luffy's like ultimate
Oh my
power
god,
up is
dude.
just he becomes a Looney Tunes character in,
You can't
the
beat him.
normal world. Like,
What are you gonna do?
like-
Punch him? He'll go ow, and then he'll keep going.
yeah. Like there's
Gets
that
hit with
part where
Kaido's
he
ultimate
starts
move.
running, like in like Looney Tunes when they start running and the ground under them like builds up into a pile.
Starts to ball,
Yeah.
roll up.
He does that. Like he straight up just becomes a Looney Tunes character.
So stupid. I love it.
It's great.
I remember watching this TikTok, and it was literally Luffy's son, like just an artist portrayal of it, because obviously, no, Luffy doesn't have a son, nor is he old.
I'm not sure
But
that
he was
Luffy is
like-
capable of giving consent.
I don't know. I you know, it's
He
just that it
fails
was like a
that
meme.
test.
Like the
It was a
Goku,
meme for this
the
purpose.
Goku question has always been a bit iffy.
And what was it called again? The special force in One Piece, like hockey or
yeah, hockey.
but his son, like, he's like, all right, Dad, like, he's like,
It's will
all right,
essentially.
don't hold back. And then he like shows like his son's arms turn black, like with like
Holy shit, Fenrir! You sent a Mjolnir
Force.
after us?
and
With hockey,
then like
yeah.
Luffy just looks at him and then immediately turns into Joy Boy, and I'm like, you're fucked. He's gonna clown on you.
Yeah. So we're just gonna talk about One Piece spoilers for a hot minute.
Outstanding.
Joy Boy is such a dangerous person, which is quote unquote fifth gear of Luffy's fruit, devil fruit. Joy Boy
I gotta
is
go in, like,
so
15 minutes.
dangerous that the world government covered up and hid the existence of everything related to it.
Yep.
They went so far as to officially rename that devil fruit to the Gomu Gomu no and destroy all previous records of it to make everybody think it was just a fruit that turns your body into rubber.
Yep. Because
Because
wasn't there
Joy
an
Boy is
original
so
Joy Boy?
dangerous.
There was an original Joy Boy, but he
Yes.
wasn't as strong as Luffy.
No, that's the
Luffy's just
implication.
It was the Joy Boy before Luffy.
Literally 800 years before.
Yeah.
Because the world government
Imagine-
had kept that devil fruit hidden for 8 centuries.
Yo, like, hey, well, imagine like when you go back, like, and look at like the first season of One Piece, and you're like realizing the gravity of everything that's happening at this very moment, and some of the stupidity, like, fucking Shanks. Why didn't he just use hockey? Like, he
Fuck you,
would
that's
have
why.
won. Like, literally, that fish would have been so terrified to even go near him that it would die.
Yeah.
And if it bit his arm, its teeth would have shattered.
Yeah, because fuck you, that's why.
Yeah, I believe like that wasn't thought of when like hockey, like that force.
Yeah, it was
really
it was
thought of by
literally
that
just
point.
a like the scene was written as is at the time.
Yeah,
Because don't forget that Sea Kings are supposed to be like super dangerous.
now it would make more sense if like the sea beast could also use hockey,
That's
like
true.
just like a primal form of it.
Mm.
But we really haven't encountered many of those.
I need to start watching the anime again soon. So what I do is I watch like 30 or 40 episodes all at once, and then I don't watch it for like a year.
So you're on like episode like 200 something?
No, I mean, I'm caught up almost. The last time I watched the anime was, I stopped like 2 episodes after Luffy beat Kaido.
Oh, Cargo's leaving?
Yeah, I'm gonna get going. We're planning we're planning some tabletop Warhammer games over the weekend, so I'm gonna get up early.
Oh, at least go get in your pod, you fucking numbnuts.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It's a good thing I'm not carrying anything important on me.
Is there anything
killing
in
you
that cargo
myself.
container?
Just
Ben?
kill me and collect my shit.
Please.
I just look over and I'm like, Cargo, what are you doing? And then like I
and
hop
eraser.
over and I see the disconnect and I'm like, okay.
Kill me, Razor. Do it.
Oh, that wasn't
I'm
too bad. I was
literally
worried that
sawing
it
your
would be
butt
bad.
cheeks in half. And you're
gonna take
dead.
a while.
I killed you.
Okay, good thing you started with the head.
You
so we
had
have 10 points on
13
top.
steel plates, you fool!
Oh,
And you had
no.
like nothing else.
Yeah,
Good
I
night,
said
Cargo.
As I said, I like that.
Thanks for hanging out.
Alright. I mean, I gotta go as well.
It's always a good time. See you guys next time.
Yep.
Aye, so-
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Razor.
Bye-bye, Razor.
Yeah, I gotta exit the thing first, and it always takes a second for me to leave the game.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you guys too.
Ugh.
I gotta get up fucking early tomorrow, and I still have more shit to do tonight. And then
Hell yeah. Gotta get on that grind set.
Hell yeah, brother.
Do 20 push-ups and then come.
Wait, huh?
Grind
Alright.
set.
I'll see you all later. Mwah, kisses for all of you.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Promise?
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye-bye-bye. There we go. I just needed the attachment point on top because I didn't want to finagle pipes everywhere.
Gotcha.
You know? Yeah. I need to put the connector back. I'll just keep it white.
So, Fen, how have you been?
I've
Happy to
been
be back to
so-
work?
I've been so EP. Brother. Oh.
So the NPC crew that you put here,
Yes?
his arms and head are behind him.
Yeah, he's just taking a stretch, you know? He's on his break.
Yeah. Oh, and this guy's arms and head are embedded in the wall. Cool.
Listen, he's been practicing some yoga, you know. I think it's healthy for them, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So what I am doing here, where are you? No, you're not here.
I'm refilling my battery.
That's fair. No, I think you kind of understand what I am doing here. I'm making a little spot for like a very small rover of sorts.
Yeah, I see what you're trying to do.
It's gonna be small enough to fit. It's just gonna be like an exploration thing.
I don't know, boss. You're talking about like 2 blocks.
You can do a lot with 2 blocks, brother.
Okay. Whatever you say. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, I've missed that. Did you hurt yourself on that wall?
No,
Okay.
I'm at full health.
That's a bit of lag. I'm thinking of making it hydrogen so it can work in space or on surface.
Do whatever the fuck you want, boss.
Aye, aye, Captain.
I will be right back.
Stay safe.
Back.
Hi, back. I'm Fen.
Hello, Fen. So, how was Outer Wilds treating you? Treating you.
It
Let's
was
ignore
good.
that.
It was good. I still need to finish it.
Cool. How far did you get?
Not that far.
Yeah,
I was
Outer
on.
Wilds is a thinking game.
I'm not going to get that far.
Outer
Without
Wilds
hope,
is very
but,
much a thinking game.
Yeah, I wasn't struggling with the thinking part. I was doing thinking okay, but what I was struggling with was that one planet where it's crumbling to pieces as you're
Yeah,
on
that
it.
planet is fucking annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, when you came in, I had fallen into the black hole maybe 10, 15 times.
It's a very much a platforming puzzle, and it's like
Yeah.
it's a rough one too.
I've just been trying to get to the South Pole so I can go to the observatory, but I keep on fucking falling in.
There are there are usually multiple ways of
Yeah.
getting to places.
Mhm.
Like you can bypass a lot of shit by just being fancy with your platforming,
Right.
but like if you go to the crumbling planet immediately, it's usually pretty intact
Yeah.
for the first like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And you can always just reset your run at any point.
Fair.
So if you get to a point where it's like, okay, I can't make it to the planet on this run, just reset. Try again.
Yeah.
The crumbling planet gave me the most trouble, I think.
Yeah, I can see that.
Have you been to all of them, though?
I've been to. Let me think.
Like, if you at least visited them all.
Oh, I got too wrapped up on the crumbling planet because I fixated on it for a bit.
Okay. So, at any point, because Outer Wilds has so many puzzles to solve, so many things to learn and observe. At any point, if you're ever getting stuck on something, just go somewhere else.
Yeah, and come back to it after.
And come back to it later. Because you might literally find something on another planet that tells you how to get to the location that you're trying to get to.
Okay, okay.
Like, shit like that happens.
Writes that down.
So they
But,
might
like,
just be like, you might be reading a thing and it's like, oh, you want to go to the, if you want to go to the observatorium, we added this extra way to get there just in case.
Oh,
right? Like stuff like that.
Right.
I don't know if that's like that exists for this specific case.
Yeah.
But like a lot of Outer Wilds is, oh, you're stuck, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Until you've exhausted everywhere else. Which multiple times I had thought, okay, I'm pretty sure I did everything there is to do here.
Yeah.
Only to later be like, fuck, I missed something.
Yeah.
But every planet is the coolest.
Oh, yeah. I did go into that one planet where you can hear the harmonica. And it was a doozy getting in there. The harmonica. The guy that everyone thinks is dead. And you
the Bramble Patch?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, fuck the Bramble Patch.
I got in with like complete ease because I just followed my like signal and I didn't run into the anglerfish on the way in.
Right.
On the way out, no. I didn't even have an opportunity to like.
So the trick with the anglerfish, and this is something that you'll find out, but they tell you, but translating that into gameplay is a little finicky.
Yeah.
When you're going through the holes in the bramble patch that kind of sort of teleport you,
Yeah.
you keep some of your momentum. Not all of it, but some of it. So sometimes what it's best to do is to just go at one of them full speed,
Yeah.
and then kill your engines. And just let it carry you through.
Okay.
So I had to do that a couple of times where I was like, I need to go this way, but there are anglerfish in that area. So I'm just going to go through it
Yeah.
with a bunch of speed and then just don't adjust at all. You can get away with small adjustments, but it's a little finicky
Yeah.
because I don't think it's intended. But yeah, the bramble patch is rough.
Yeah. It's certainly exciting.
It's great, but it's also the most genuinely terrifying part of the game. I fucking
actually
hated that place.
I didn't even realize there was live anglerfish in there until I started heading out.
And then you just run into one.
Yeah, he was just sitting outside the tube, and I was like, "Fuck."
Yep.
But hey,
But
I
yeah,
was on my
if
way.
you're
out because I
having any
exploded.
issues, just go to another planet.
Yeah.
The game is very direct about telling you things.
Oh yeah.
So, like, if the game is like, hey, go track down... Like, there's a reason why the game gives you the ability to hear their music from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because it's very much a, go see them all, right? Like, it doesn't straight up give you main objective, go visit the other astronauts.
It just says, hey, you can do this.
You can do this. Which is the game's way of saying, go do this.
Yeah.
And a lot of that game is focused around, you learn a piece of information, now you know how to do a thing.
Yeah. Should I give this a fucking, not a jump drive, but like the big drive? Because we are taking it to space, right?
A jump drive? Nah.
No?
Nah.
So like...
If we need to take it into space, it's more of a, we're just transporting it to another planet.
Yeah.
Which is very much, okay, well, we can just attach it to a ship that has a jump drive.
That's fair.
We only need to attach the hydrogen engines just to get it off the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Which is why they're supposed to be detachable.
Yeah.
As opposed to built-in. Strap them on, get it out of the atmosphere, detach.
And I think you saw me adding some more to the front, so it kind of balances out.
Yeah, I did see that.
Plus, we can also just use those for, like, docking bays for, like, just regular ships.
Exactly.
There's a little door next to it, so, like, it'll work fine. Same with, like, each of these little connecting ports have one.
Right. The biggest thing with Outer Wilds is that every piece of information you gain exists for two reasons. One, lore. Two, to teach you something.
Yeah.
Like, the game is very deliberate about how it tells you things and when. And sometimes when you learn things, it's good to go back to certain other astronauts and talk to them. Because they might have some insight.
Yeah, they give you a bit more of a lore drop, a bit more things to run off of.
Right. You'd be like, hey, I found this thing on the planet that you're on. And then they'll tell you about it, maybe.
Yeah. I was talking to the marshmallow guy, the banjo dude, after a while. He's really nice.
They're all nice.
Sometimes I feel bad for the guy, but he's also a little creepy, just watching everyone all the time. I get it.
Yeah, I recommend going and talking to all of them,
Oh yeah.
just so that
I
you
guess
can at least see all of the planets.
Yeah. I guess technically I only have 2 left to go visit.
Have you been to the Ashen Twins?
The who?
The 2 planets that are close to the sun.
Nope. I haven't gone near the sun at all because I'm too scared to get pulled into orbit.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah.
You'll get better at it.
I've also completely abandoned autopilot because autopilot crashed my ship one time.
Oh, dude, autopilot crashed my ship so many times. It's gonna do that. You just gotta pay attention.
Yeah. Like I put autopilot on, I looked
By the
away
time
from
you get to the
ship.
end of the game, you'll be an expert pilot. It's
Well,
not
like,
as hard as it seems.
No, I'm good at piloting. It's just that I needed to like put the game down for a second to grab something. I put on autopilot and I came back and my ship was just cold.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
The autopilot is just to make it less tedious to go from planet to planet.
Yeah.
That's all it does. It's for
Yeah.
tedium.
Probably close that down there now.
See if we get a seal. Arf, arf, arf.
Orf. Let me just make sure all the doors are closed. Unless you already did that.
Oh, there's a hole in the ceiling, I think, isn't there? Yeah, up here.
Yeah. That was gonna be covered up with like a conveyor, but we could just block it off for now.
Yeah, just stick a block there so we don't forget. We gotta
I'm
put a
making it-
we gotta put a
I'm making-
conveyor on the ceiling at some point.
Yeah, there. I made it a completely obtuse block so that we know. And it looks like... See, let me go to one of these. I think we have a mod that shows... that lets it, like, dictate whether there's... there's no... panel.
Yeah, you go to the air vents. They'll tell you.
These air vents don't have the,
Oh, they don't?
Yeah, let me see.
Fuck.
But we can just go to a... this is air vent number 3. I can just go to any panel. Air vent 3. Find leak. Oh yeah, there's a leak right up here. I see.
What'd you do?
These blocks aren't, I see. Alright.
That doesn't count as a seal? Fuck off.
It's because it's the interior block.
That's bullshit.
I know. Fuck the angled interior. I can find a block that fits the shape of this, though. Let me see. Yep, right here. There's that, and there's that. Times 3. Area is sealed. Supposedly. We still don't have any oxygen, but we can get some farms going.
If it shows up as warm, then you're fine.
It's warm outside right now, as is.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
Funny. How are you feeling about the what is this? The fucking Perseverance or Preservance?
It looks good.
Yeah. Of course, we still need to like work on some like the angling of the blocks, but make it less chunky. But other than that, it looks nice. And there's also
Yeah, I like it. Looks good.
Yeah. Also the big hangar area back here that's open.
Yeah, we haven't done anything with that yet, obviously.
Yep. But I think for the most part, the rest of this is just like, tedious maintenance. Like this is for a timer. We're gonna be doing buttons on this.
What if we just literally put another gate here? Just side by side.
You mean like for like an airlock?
Yeah. I mean, it'll work, right?
It should work. I mean, there's a little bit of space. It might not close properly for a second, but
It's half a block for each one, so it should be about a block total.
well, fuck it. 8
Fuck it.
2.0.
Do it.
Yeah.
Put another gate down.
Hold on.
That shitty anime.
I love Gate.
I don't.
I like the concept of Gate.
I do too, but I don't like gate.
I can respect that.
Concept of gate's great.
Oh yeah.
Gate itself is not.
But yeah, those buttons that are by each of the doors, I want to have it so that like you press a button. Well, the door's gonna be locked firstly, but then you're gonna press a button, and then it's gonna, depressurize because there's only room for one door. And then the door's gonna open. You go out. It's
Right.
gonna click another timer. Go close, and repressurize. That sort of thing.
Yeah, there's plenty of space.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't. Hold on, let me see more space. Yeah, well.
Goodbye. Enjoy your prison. Every time I walk back here, the fucking torso of these guys is in a different position. Now it's inside the cargo container.
Yeah, they're just doing a bit of yoga, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mind them. Alright, let me think about how I need to do this.
Yeah, we gotta do that fucking ceiling conveyor too.
Yeah.
We could do one by the cargo container.
Yeah. One like straight above it, and then one stretched across the top.
Exactly.
I'm gonna run to the washroom really fast.
Yep.
I'll be right back.
Bum 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 bum. There we go. That. Okay. There we go. Give me another hydrogen bottle. That's not what I want. Now, let's see. How are we doing here? Let's take 1,000 of them. A few hundred of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To get us over 1,000. 1,000 of them. That's fine, that's fine. Couple thousand of them. That's fine, that's fine. That's fine. That. What else? A few thousand steel plates. Some metal grids. A couple hundred reactor components. What are these? Thruster? Yeah, 1,000 is enough for now. 2,000 steel tubes. And I think that's it. I think that's good enough for now. Oh yeah, are the refineries doing anything? No. So we have processed everything. We're still not doing great on gold, cobalt, and platinum. We got plenty of ice for now. I think there's more on the Yarhar as well. So, but that's fine. Something for next time. Let's check. How much ice is in here? Enough. Enough for now. Don't need to worry about that. Okay. Beep, boop, ba, ba, ba. Shit, I don't have any stick plates. Alright. Alright. That. And that. Build these real quick. Okay. I kind of like the idea of an open flight deck. I think it'll look nice. Well, we'll see what Fen thinks when he gets back. Yay!
I'm here. Hi.
Hello.
I'm back. I forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah, I was setting up the timers for the doors and shit. This might need a timer for each of the doors. Hold on. What's up?
Just thinking. Thinking about what if we just leave the flight deck open like this?
I mean, it could work, yeah. I'd kind of want to like shape it out just a little bit, but like,
Yeah.
it could work like that, yeah. Maybe like trim the walls down a bit to like half blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So there's more space on the inside portion.
Right.
Then we just have to work some pipes through here, some conveyors, connectors.
Yeah, I think that could work.
Yeah. energy low.
Just gotta be careful with these blocks here because of the suspension being right there.
Yeah.
Don't want to break a block that we're not supposed to break.
Let me see.
There's also a tire inside of a block right now.
Where is it? Yep. Oh, I understand. Yeah. Let me like undo the suspension for that real fast.
It might be the reason why it suddenly started moving.
That could be a possibility.
This tire is doing the same thing.
Might just be a little jank because might just be a little jank because of
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know. All right. I'm extending the suspension. Okay, yeah, so the tires are just stuck inside of the thing right now.
Yep.
Looks like.
Nothing happened. It went up and then immediately went back down.
Yep, I see that.
I mean, it wants to go up.
Yeah. I think what I can do is probably we can chop the tires off, extend the suspension.
Put them back on.
Yeah, let me unextend the suspension so it doesn't like rocket itself, you know?
Yeah, there's nothing like building up pressure and clang.
Oh yeah. Do you want to save things really fast?
I already did.
Thank you.
I did it before you started messing with it.
That's fair.
But yeah, the tires in a bunch of places are like halfway inside the blocks. And in some cases, they're all the way inside.
Yeah.
But you're probably right. It's probably just a matter of break the wheel and then lift it and then...
Yeah, I think the thing is it was probably initializing all the different like spots of like pistons and rotors like on a startup at some point.
God damn it.
And it just registered the wheels inside.
Yeah.
God damn it, of course my inventory was fucking full. I'm just gonna remove all the wheels for now. Like, of the ones we don't... Ooh.
I mean, I would just ignore it for now until we actually need the thing.
Yeah. And technically, they're not necessary. It's just extra suspension sort of thing. Right, those are okay. And so are those. But I do want to test if the extending works now, because the things aren't stuck in wheels.
Alright, I'll save again.
Thank you.
Done.
Thank you. Yep, there we go. That's what was stopping the extension earlier. That's probably exactly what was causing us to move as well.
Mm-hmm. Bless you.
No, go. Oh, Okay, okay. I need to turn those off. No idle method, please. Thank you. What's up?
Just a random head.
Random head?
Yeah, from the
I
terminal.
think- Oh,
Just the head
so head.
floating about. You broke the floor!
Yes, I did. I'm doing I'm doing timer stuff right now, so tee. It's gonna be like that by each of the doors, so be careful. And interior plates and a lot. Connected.
I want that. No. Yes.
Maybe.
Go. Build planner capacity reached. Please kill yourself.
Bro.
Download more RAM.
Please just let me fit into this one, man. Jesus Christ. I really wish the hitboxes were better in this game for building.
Yeah, they're not perfect. Maybe Space Engineers 2, 10 years after it comes out.
That's too high hopes.
He's got hope. He's got high hopes. He's got high apple pie in the sky hopes.
Apple pie can't fly. What the fuck?
You don't know that. This
I've
is
tested
America.
it.
That apple pie can do whatever the fuck it wants. Maybe in Canada it can't.
Nuh-uh. Sorry, go. Alright, I'm gonna do the literal timers for the doors. And I think that might be a good spot for it. Since we got like all the interior done except for the big ol' hangar bay.
Could you repeat that, Sonny?
EP.
Gotcha. That checks out.
Oh yeah. Alright, offset door. This is gonna make me have an aneurysm, I swear to God.
Good.
I'm making more holes in the floor, just so you know.
Mm-hmm. You're really good at finding holes.
I'm good at making holes.
That's what they all say.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hmm. This work? I need a different one, but similar.
That's my oxygen instead.
Well, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. Hmm.
Let's do this. So this is offset door.
Oh, that'll do what I need.
This is power block 7 and 8.
Not perfect, but it'll do what I need.
The only ones back here is air vents 4 and 3.
Alright, let's see something. What would I program first? I think the logistics. There's one line. The pressure rises. Then it's over. I might need 3 timer blocks on this. For such a simple process. Goddamn. Thinking. Let's hit the store first.
Yeah, good enough.
And fuck off, energy low.
Energy low.
Eat a cock.
Hey, listen.
Not like this.
Hey, listen.
I never had a Nintendo, so I luckily never had to grow up with them happy.
Hey, listen.
Ugh. I gotta skedaddle right now.
Do you?
I do.
All right.
I think I know how I'm gonna do the timer blocks, but I'm also gonna think it a little bit. But I think this is where I'm gonna be.
Okie dokie.
Bye,
Good
fella.
night.
Good night. Let me just get into who is it?
Yep.
Ow, 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 ow. Son of a huck.
All right. Please, just let me take the ladders off the ladders. So I can just fly through the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like in the old days. Before they had an animation for climbing ladders, so there were no ladders.
Yeah.
Alright. Have a good night, Fan. Thank you for hanging out. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
ending
is that-
stream very soon.
Oh. Okay.
Gotta
okay.
raid out to somebody.
Gotcha.
We'll do this next week as usual,
Yes, sir.
unless somebody dies.
No promises. But I'll see you next time. You stay safe, man.
Yep, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Brandon stream. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you maybe tomorrow morning. I don't know for sure. There. Okay. We're gonna raid out, but to anybody watching the VOD, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.